Good morning, Lily Banda. Que lunes. I just want to say that I just saw Yaya's show. And then I went on, Velda just got off live. I'm laughing. Good morning, Mimi. I'm over here laughing. You know what? Let me go get my glasses because they're not on my table. And I want to talk to you guys about a few things. Don't go nowhere. Good morning, Anna. I'm over here laughing. I'm laughing, Anna. I saw Yaya's show, then I saw Velda, and I'm like, what the heck did I miss over the weekend? But les quiero decir que hice un TikTok ahorita porque ya saben, yo amanezco con el cafecito. Y les estoy diciendo, el respeto al derecho ajeno es la paz. You respect other people's business, you're at peace. That's right, Mimi. But there's also people that have platforms that want to be talking smack when they had kids in the jail system in Mexico. They want to be talking smack about females that have kids from one or two or more husbands or men that they lived with, when they themselves have kids from the jail. They produce them in the jail. That's what's funny to me. Then you have the other one, the 7-foot man that has brothers and sisters that don't have the same last name as he does. So obviously something else happened there. So how can you throw stones when you have a glass house? How can you throw stones when you have a glass house? Isn't my Monday starting interesting? And with lots of laughter. Am I still eating bananas and panela? Yes, it's my breakfast. But I think it's funny, and I find it funny that these people want to talk about people that have kids from different men, and they want to be downgrading females. It always takes two people to produce a child, unless you have in vitro fertilization, and that still requires two people, plus the doctor. That's three people. Good morning, Esther. So, are we going on the World Wide Web to speak about females that have kids with more than one man? Get a damn life. That's not the point here. She is that person that has children with more than one man is the only one that knows why it happened, because we all know how it happened. They're the ones that have to live with that situation. But for somebody that's trying to be an influencer on a World Wide Web to come on and start trying to belittle somebody because they have children from multiple partners, that is utterly wrong. But that just goes to show the 24 people that I have here what kind of sad upbringing that person had, especially when he and she have the same situation in their own household. Because somebody's brother that's a lawyer doesn't have the same last name as he does. That's right, Mimi. She's not any better than anybody else, but for her to be on a World Wide Web trying to belittle another female for having children from multiple partners is none of her business. I only had one child, and she was born in my marriage. How do you like them apples? My daughter adopted 3 children. How do you like them apples? They are my grandchildren through adoption. And I will write the line down on anybody that tries to belittle anybody else that way. It's like Mexican men that like to be talking about females that have this issue, but yet they're having affairs left and right on their wives and, getting home and beating up their wives and crap. What makes them any better than a female? I tell all the females, if you pay more than half of the bills in your house, that man can be kicked out. If you already had children, you already did your duty. He's not paying all the bills in the house, you can kick his ass out because you can make it on your own. Well, not only that, wasn't she working under somebody's desk? These people need to think twice before they start throwing those rocks that can be flown back. They don't marry those concubines. They don't marry them. And then those concubines want to be hiding the pew-pew for them. Hey, Maria Chongos, there is no shame in going to a pantry line. In the United States, they have plenty of pantry lines. You don't need to fill your mouth up with a man in order to make it here in the United States. So I don't understand that one. I don't understand how they want to act like Mother Teresa of Calcutta's cousins when what they did was worse. That's right, Mimi. But don't forget, she got a platform. And that makes her above everybody else. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. These are people that were raised by other people and have absolutely no common sense about morals, about what comes first. Because don't forget, family is always going to be first. But they don't have a sense of family. They were given to family members because their mom or their dad were too busy with their lives to be paying any mind to this person. So, and there's several on the platforms that had that problem. So that they don't have no sense of family. So of course they're going to be talking trash about other people that do. Yes, and how do you break the cycle if you were raised in a broken home? You don't change the cycle by coming on a World Wide Web and speaking ill of females that have children from multiple partners. They're the ones that know why that happened. You're not here to judge their life. Whatever's going on in their life, you're not here to judge it. But you want a few more views, and that's why you're doing it? You're speaking ill. Well, because they don't have loyalty in a family group, they won't have decency or respect for anybody. Maria Chongos. And don't forget, their dignity was destroyed in their young years when they thought that their good looks was going to get them everywhere. And they want to come on a World Wide Web and act like they have a lot of wealth or a lot of means or a lot of, and especially when you come to a World Wide Web and you start saying who your circle of friends were when you were young. And that person has said who her circle of friends was. And it's like, really? That person was on all the newspapers about what she did before she was incarcerated. Hi, Jeannie. So, I don't understand why this person wants to get, why either one of these people on a World Wide Web and speak ill of females when they're part of the same thing. No wonder Ophelia says, I could tell you, chingas a la puta que te parió, but I'm not going to. No wonder Ophelia says that. I always wondered why she said it, but I could say it, but I'm not going to, right? You're going to try to wash all the things that you've done on your own self by belittling females on the internet. My goodness. And that is wrong. Especially when you yourself have children that were not made in the holiness of a marriage, especially when you yourself were born with a different last name than your other siblings. You're going to get on a World Wide Web and start talking trash about females. It must be nice, because I do believe that some of those females, or most of those females, were the ones that gave somebody that's talking trash over $7,000 so he could gift them to another man. Worst part is everybody found out about it in the World Wide Web. So I'm not slandering or talking ill of anybody. I'm just repeating stuff that's been going on in the 956. Well, you know, a lot of things used to happen. Maria Chongos. You never know what happens when people are hanging clothes on the clothesline. Up in our rancho, it used to happen in the cornfields, but over here, it could have been happening while they were hanging clothes on the clothesline. You know, and a lot of people have no sense of priority, no sense of family is first, no sense of, because they were raised always being belittled. So they think that it's okay to be on a World Wide Web and speak ill of females that had unfortunate circumstances. And that's why I recommend that movie that Netflix has right now. As You Stood By. I recommend that everybody see that movie. It's 8 chapters. I recommend that people see that movie so that you can see the different stages that traumatized children and traumatized females go through when they have family violence. That's why I recommend it. I mean, a lot of stuff in there was probably stuff that we never went through, so it's hard to see. But if you don't see these kind of movies and documentaries, you're not going to learn. And it's not nice to get on a World Wide Web and belittle females or belittle people for their sexual orientation, but live your life, respect others, and you will be having peace. But when you're not living your life and you're meddling in other people's business and trying to put it out there on the World Wide Web, then you bring crap upon yourself. Yes, Maria Chongos, I recommend that you see it. If you do have Netflix, it is an awesome show. You will see the different stages that these people went through to protect family, to protect themselves, to try to, move on in life. It's hard to break that cycle of family violence. And it's even worse, here we go, to break the cycle when one of the parents moves from one house across the street to live with somebody else. And you're seeing him raising other people's kids, but he never turns to look at you. He doesn't remember your birthday. He doesn't want to, pat you in the back and say, hey, you did good at that game, because he's got other kids that he's raising. And see, This is when it comes to people that have lived a life like that should not be throwing rocks because they have a glass roof. And I'm not mentioning anybody's name here, but those that know. You know, and it's like, what the heck? You're going to try to belittle another female instead of encouraging her and telling her, you know what, better days are coming? You're going to be on a World Wide Web saying that I shouldn't have been on a food pantry line that was issued out for everybody in Raymondville, Texas. You're going to be calling the food pantry line because I have an internet page and telling people that I'm causing static on the line when that's not true. But you did, because that's how the hate works. Meanwhile, I'm eating bananas right now, but I've been eating cherries and grapes that I got from that food pantry line all weekend. And you're over there getting ulcers because you're mad. They're not going to drag me down. Girl, please. Dios, nombre no sabes. I was just cracking up with Velda right now. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to continue her little topic. Because it doesn't matter if Velda has children from different husbands or Ophelia has children from different husbands. They lived their life and they're living their life and they're maxing out their life right now and you're mad. Yeah, even her daddy's money was dirty. He was a dirty politician in Matamoros. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. Any money that she has, it's not all clean. Not even the one that she was making while she was working there in the police department. Well, there's a lot of faces in that cycle, Mimi. Not just that. Drug use and abuse, money laundering, human trafficking, prostitution, selling of females, selling of organs. There's a lot of sections in that part, Mimi. But because I put on a coat, I'm going to say, hey, I'm a respectable person. I go to church. I give my tithes at the church. I give my alms. I guess that's a better word, since I don't know how to pronounce the other one. But that doesn't make you a better person if you have a sneaky, closeted life. Yes, Maria, but there's sometimes circumstances that put you in spots where you're behind the wall and a spade in front of you. And you have to make a decision. And sometimes it is the wrong decision, but that's the only decision that you had available to you at that time. And there's a lot of females that have broken that cycle. And, you know, we're not here to criticize anybody. But I will criticize that person for trying to belittle other people. Sometimes I get mad because I follow this man on TikTok. He has a ranch and he has a wife and a family and everything. But sometimes he has females that talk bad to him, and he'll start talking bad about them. He'll look up their lives, on the internet, and he'll start talking and saying, "Well, nobody wants a female that has gone through all these men," but he never talks about the men that do the same thing. It Prostitution works both ways. There's males that prostitute themselves, and there's females that prostitute themselves, and that has been a job since biblical times. If it wasn't, Jesus wouldn't have been writing on the sand when all those people wanted him to stone that prostitute. And he said, the first one of you that doesn't have any sins, throw the first stone. They all turned around and walked away from her. And it's the same thing that's going on right now. You can't throw the first stone if you're living the same life, or if you live the same life. You cannot throw that stone. Find something to talk about. Look, my hair is all getting out of control. My lipstick that they gave me. Hey, I went and found some that were similar. I haven't tried them yet. But, hey, why don't you talk about other things? I had to take all the little trash that I had in this bag. I had lots of receipts and stuff. But I went to this lipstick is over $30. But I went to the store that's behind Casa Kevin in McAllen, and I guess it's Omega Store 99, Omega 99. And I found something similar for a lot less. This one was only $1.09. Look, the price is still there. I want to thank everybody that Cash Apped me last week, because they didn't have different colors. I really wanted different colors, but I got 3 of those. And then I got me this one for $1.39. As y'all can see, I like kind of those kind of colors. This one was more. This one was $1.99. They're not open yet. And this one made me mad. This one made me mad, people. It was only 89 cents, but why do y'all think I was mad? Thank you, Maria Chongos. I love you guys. Look what I did. I spent $10, but look at how many lipsticks I bought for $10. But this one here and this one here made me mad. And I kind of like this one more. These were 89 cents, but I was thinking that the can was the color of the lipstick, and I didn't open it in the little store because I thought that would be rude. But then I get to the house, and this one is this color, which doesn't match this color. I really wanted that color. And this one is more that color. But there's so many things that you could talk about. There's so many things that you could invest the money that people give you out of their goodness of their heart, instead of paying a man to to instead of paying a man to do favors for you, they didn't give you the money for that. You know, to come and paying a man to come and hold your hand. You know, you want to belittle women when you did much worse. You know, that's one of the parts that I don't understand about these people that are supposedly influencers. You know, and it's like, I want to say that I splurged on myself because that's more than, I think, 8 lipsticks for $10.50. But I want to thank those people that gave me the money for it. And these people are just bad. You know what I call those kind of men? Maria Chongos. For a pito smaller than this one, Maria Chongos. Pencil dick motherfuckers. And what's bad is females gave him the money to do that. Females gave him the money so that he could be on mile 9 in one of those canales or in one of those orange groves on mile 9 and give out the money that they were giving him in goodwill for things that he was crying that he needed on the internet. You know, it's like, oh well, c'est la vie. Such is life. I have taken up enough of y'all's morning this morning, and I thank you for being here. I just don't understand it. Grow up. You don't know what those people lived through. But when your life is all over the internet and all over the newspapers and all over the Facebook newspapers, then you need to stop throwing stones. Y'all have a nice day. It's a beautiful day in South Texas.